welcome to Daydreams of Quilts on YouTube. I'm Anita, and today I'm going to talk about selling at in-person markets in 2024. I had a request from Sherry on Instagram to do a more recent video because I did do a series last year about selling in person. So here is the update for 2024. I started out feeling very optimistic and excited about trying to do the farmers market in my local town again. I live in Wainwright, Alberta, and one of my co-workers at my full-time job had talked me into giving the market a try. So I bought all these fabric panels and I was going to sew clothing for kids and clothing for moms and scrunchies and key fobs and bookmarks and things that I thought people would want to buy at the farmers market. And I went to the January show and I sat there for 5 hours, and I remembered why I don't do these farmers markets anymore, and that's because I don't sell anything. I sold one scrunchie for $5 in 5 hours, and the table cost me $25. And a lot of people who knew me either pretended that they didn't see me or they pretended that they didn't know me, and it was just soul crushing. And I remembered why I don't do that anymore, and I don't do markets in my hometown anymore. So, and my mom was like, don't do any more markets. She's like, how many markets have you done and this has happened? So yes, I don't know if that's just a Wainwright thing or if it's a me thing or what is the situation. Although the guy at work said that they don't sell anything either. They just go to like have a presence and be part of the community. But I'm not so much about that. I'm kind of more about making money. So anyway, that was great. Now I have a whole bunch of panels that I'm trying to sew up to sell on Etsy before Christmas rush. I did a knitting show in Camrose, which is about an hour and a half away, in April, and that went great. I thought it was a really great show. I had a lot of fun. I had a decent amount of sales. I think I made $400 or $500 in about 4 or 5 hours. So that was great. It was called the Rose City Fiber Fest, and it was a lot of fun, and I would do it next year. And that's my focus now, is the fiber festivals. They are going really well for me. The knitters and crocheters are loving my project bags and the other things that I make that pertain to their craft, like yarn cozies and things like that. So I'm focused on the fiber festivals. The other great thing about the fiber festivals is it's a niche market. I know who I'm sewing for. I can sew specifically for them. They are coming specifically for things related to their craft, so it goes a lot better. The next show I did was in a town of 1,000 people called Bigger, Saskatchewan. It was my second best show ever. It was in June, and it's about a 2.5 hour drive from where I live, and I made $1,000 at that show in about 5 hours. So that was incredible. I will 100% do that show again next year. I loved it. The customers were so fun. They fed us breakfast at this show. Like, the hospitality was fantastic. 100% recommend that show. So again, it was a fiber festival. It was the Bigger Fiber Fair, and it was in conjunction with their town fair, and it went really well for me. I was very happy. In contrast to these shows, Etsy has been so slow. I will do another video about Etsy, but the in-person shows are where I'm getting sales this year. And even then, right now, at this point in the year, I'm way in the hole. So I'm really hoping that the fourth quarter is what the fourth quarter usually is, which is where it gets all of us back into the black, because right now I'm not in the black. So the next show coming up is next weekend in Calgary. It is the Knit City in Calgary. It is a huge knitting show. I think it's going to be fantastic. I have very high hopes. I have been sewing and sewing and sewing for this show. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. And then after that, 3 weeks after Knit City, I am at Manitoba Fiber Festival in Winnipeg. So again, high hopes for that show as well. I've heard good things about it. So Shannon on Instagram has done that show before, and she said it went great, and she is going back this year as well, and I'm very happy that we're both going to be there and hopefully get to chat. So that's what's happening. The only general craft show that I'm doing this year is the Butterdome Craft Show in Edmonton, which is a huge Christmas market. It's 4 days long. It's definitely the most expensive market I will have ever done as far as booth fees go. And therefore, I have very high hopes as well. If you're charging a really high booth fee, that generally means that you are going to be bringing in the customers and that there is an expectation of sales to be happening. So I'm counting on that. So I'll have to let you know how that show goes as well. But for now, I would say try to get into niche markets if you can. Etsy is very difficult to make sales on right now. I'm hoping that the Christmas rush comes through on Etsy, but things have changed on Etsy. So you can't count on online sales these days. And if you can find people that love your stuff, stick with that. That's where the cheese has moved to. If you've ever read that book, Who Moved My Cheese? That's where the cheese is. And I recommend you read that book if you're an entrepreneur. It's a really good book. It's short and it has a really good message for being resilient and pivoting when you are a business owner. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I hope that has helped you come up with some ideas if things aren't going very well for you. And if things aren't going well, I hear you. I feel for you, and things aren't going amazingly awesome for me either. If I didn't have a full-time job right now, I probably wouldn't be able to keep my business going because I wouldn't be able to afford supplies. So that's where we're at. Leave a comment if you have anything to add, or if things are going great for you and you have advice for me, that would be awesome. Or let me know how things are. I'd like to know that I'm not the only one out there. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.